What's up guys? My name is Mike and I'm restoring this old John boat into a functional bass boat. I've got a lot of progress done so far and I got a lot of work to do still. For today's video, I'm going to be working on installing a 5-inch transom riser to use a long shaft motor on a short shaft transom. If this kind of content sounds like something you'd be interested in, don't forget to subscribe to see where it goes. Alright, let's get started. Recently I picked up a 25 horsepower Yamaha motor and I am super excited to get it installed onto the boat. In the process of doing that, I'm going to be installing a transom riser that's going to raise the motor up about 5 inches off the transom. If it doesn't get me to where I need to be, the motor bracket itself has about 4 different mounting points, so we can always move it up and down as needed. The big things I want to make sure I'm doing is that the transom risers are completely straight up and down and that it matches the mounting holes on the motor. With all that being said, let's get started. I already have some pretty good guides where the old mounting holes were. The old hardware is obviously not going to fit, but I have new hardware ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is drill out the current mounting holes that are already in place. I'm going to leave this clamped up to make sure that the angle of the mount and everything drills correctly. So it looks like a pretty clean mounting hole through and through. Perfect. Next thing I want to do now is clean up the mounting holes on both sides, so when I apply the adhesive, it has a really good surface to bond to. Let's get this jack plate clamped up to the boat again. Once it's in position, I'm going to drill out these 2 bottom holes. We're going to clean them up. Then we'll get ready for our sealant for the final installation of the jack plate. And get these squared up again. Go ahead and add a second clamp to make sure nothing moves while I drill this out. A little hot. So here are 2 holes in the top and bottom drilled out. So I was able to just catch the bottom of the transom on each side, and that is absolutely perfect. I want to make sure I get silicone all around the edges of the hole and a little bit inside the transom, just to make sure this stays completely watertight. Okay, that looks pretty good. This one is going to go through the hull and the outboard. And then this one is a possible mounting hole that I may add later, but I can still add the silicone, so if I drill it out, it'll still be sealed. I'm not sure which hole it would be, so I'm just going to do all 3. All right. My bottom mounting holes are going to be coming through from the inside. I'm going to be doing a double washer setup on this side. Okay, now that's in there just enough to keep it snug. My plan is to get the motor slotted into position through the bolts already in place. She's gonna go ahead and throw the bolts through the top part here, and then we'll be able to get everything tightened down. Okay, how close are the holes?
This way.
This way?
So close.
Keep your fingers.
We got it.
Keep your fingers.
We got it. We got it. We have it. It's good.
Oh, that one is in. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't use that. So give me that one.
Okay, so at this point I have this in a semi-installed state, but I want to see how close we are to being level with the bottom of the boat, or if I'm going to need to raise this up a whole mounting hole or not. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up and see where it sits. We're about maybe a 1/2 inch from the bottom of the boat. I want this up a little bit higher. So I'm gonna attempt to move this up a mounting hole and see if we can get more in position. Right there. Yes. All right, we're on the second mounting hole now. See if we can trim it back up and see how close we are. I think another mounting hole is gonna be the smart move on this. Okay, we're still level. You see that right there? We got the level in place. So we are level, sliding our angle in. Oh God, yes, look at that. This is mounted absolutely perfect now. It ended up being mount hole number 3. I still have room to go up even further if I end up seeing I need that. So that's awesome that I even have that adjustability still. I was kind of worried that I was gonna max out at the top height, and if I needed to go up any higher, I couldn't, but looks like that's not the case. Now I did mess up. I want to let you guys see what I did. That way you can avoid doing the same mistake. The big thing that I did wrong was I should not have drilled my riser mount until after everything was put together. The reason for that is on this side, everything lines up great. I got this perfect. On this side, I have mounting hole through the engine bracket on the top through the jack plate. That's good. I have the mounting hole through the transom on the bottom. That's good. But the adjustable mounting hole is just a hair off. If you can see that, it looks like maybe the jack plate shifted when I was drilling it or something happened. So I've been trying to figure out what the best way to tackle this is, and I don't want to enlarge the holes on the transom for obvious reasons. So I think what I'm gonna do, as much as it pains me to do this, is I'm gonna drill out from the inside of the boat coming out and just shave that engine bracket slightly to let the bolt pass through. It's not gonna affect the integrity of everything. I really hate to do it on a brand new motor, but honestly, I think it's the better option. Everything has been tightened down. It is time to drill the motor. Let's just get this done, and then I think I'll be much happier once that's over with. All right, how bad is it? Okay, that's not bad at all. Barely shaved it. I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay, let's just make sure this fits through now. Oh, golden. Absolutely golden. Oh yeah, that's just a tiny bit. Okay, I feel much better. That's how close I was. That's how freaking close I was. Do you see that? That tiny little bit. All right, I'm gonna slather this up with some silicone. Get this buttoned up. All right, well, the motor's mounted. I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, and I'll give you guys a walkthrough of what I've done and check out this motor. All right, folks, well, there she is. Fully mounted, fully leveled. Everything is exactly as it should be. I am so incredibly happy with how this came out. This was a world of work today. I did not expect this to be as difficult as it was. It was a huge learning experience for me. I've never mounted a jack plate before, but honestly, I'm really happy with how everything came out. Now, what I thought was gonna be the easy part, which turned out to be a pretty difficult part, is done. I need to work on the controls and everything next. That's definitely gonna be for another day. This took me about 6 hours to get everything done. The biggest hurdle came from trying to manipulate this motor. They say with the weight that this falls into the portable power category now. Don't believe that, because this is like 130 something pounds, and it was really, really difficult to work with. As you saw earlier in the video, I was struggling like hell to get this on the boat. When I wound up pulling out the jack, that helped out so much. I was able to get it in position exactly where I needed to be. So at that point, everything got a lot easier, but still, that's not something you're going to be like throwing from boat to boat. I have everything sealed up with 3M 5200. I probably could have used just regular silicone, but that's a product I trust and love, so I just wanted to stick with something that I knew. All right, guys, well, if you found this helpful, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. If you have any questions with mounting your long shaft motor on a short shaft transom, feel free to drop a line below and I'll see what I can do to help. If you guys like this content and you want to see more like this, don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot of cool things coming out with the boat, and then after it's done, I'm going to be taking this thing everywhere. So stay tuned for more cool John boat stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.